Mail order sharpening request from a subscriber like you. He trusted me with his entire collection of knives. And right now, I'm just trying to trust my camera. In my experience, this thing's either full of some knives or there could be some real treasure in here. I say we open it up, find the coolest one, and let's sharpen it. Come on in. All right. I already know you guys know I didn't wait for the filming to open this box. I know what's inside. I'm not going to lie. Let's take a look at it. I'm excited to show you all this. Now, it did come way more disheveled than this. There were just knives scattered everywhere. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Rex. Stage 5 and Rex 121. That's what started it all. Benchmade. Oh, that's more than $1,000 right there. Put that in my pocket. What else we got in here? Fostede Morgan series. I forget the name of this one. RUI. An M42. Oh boy, there's just so many knives. Let's get the camera set up for a better overall shot here. All right, here's the entire collection in all of its glory. This has got to be a $2,000 collection, probably more. My beautiful wife Tanya is going to point while I speak. First and foremost, we got a Tojiro, which is a really thin, cool knife. We've got the knife that brought us here. The reason we're here, the Rex in 121. We've got the Stelter Tenderfoot. We've got two knives I've actually never seen in person, and that's the Fostede kitchen knives. We've got an Enzo. I see these things right in the middle. I see these things all the time. They're popular in my market. We've got a primitive bear gecko. Really colorful, cool handle. We've got a Benchmade designed by Osborne. And then we've got some really cool knives. We've got a Rue, which is in some very special steel. I'll tell you about that later. We've got two custom knives built by Stan, Mr. Pakistan. And then one of the crazier looking knives. This one is a straight up cartel knife. This is the El Chapo. That's a femur splitter right there. And boy, when you hold it, the weight of it, yeah, it's a friggin' femur splitter. And then there's two knives I have not described. One's a little bit more important to the other, but the more important one's gonna go first. And that's this knife right here. That is the Hone SK. And the reason this is so important and so special is it's my client's father's knife. And the fact that not only did he send and trust me with this entire collection, but his father's knife. And he gave me very detailed instructions on how to handle it, how to deal with it. All the characters are going to remain. We're only going to be working the edge, and we're going to be doing something special on that. But tonight, for this video, the coolest one in my opinion, aside from Dad's knife. Oh yeah, Axial out the front. I mean, these things are so much fun. I can just sit here, I'm gonna annoy the hell out of you guys with that clicking, but boy, this is such a cool knife. And you know what makes this knife even cooler? This is Magnacut. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a challenge to sharpen. I'll explain why in a second. Let's go ahead and put it back in the guard. Oh, one more time. 2 more times. Shoot, I'm buying one. All right, let's grind. All right, it's time to protect our knife before we do anything else. First things first, let's get that handle covered. I used to use saran wrap, but now I use this protective cling wrap because it really saves me a lot of time. Although it's not going to protect me from a CBN wheel spinning at 100 RPM and tapping the handle. So I'll probably come in here with some masking tape in a minute and maybe a little extra padding just to cover my ass. Okay, my next big worry with this one, no thumb screws because this is automatic. Boy, I don't even know if I'm supposed to have this in my shop, but it's here. I was hired to do it. I have an excuse, right? Okay, let's see if we can figure out how to use, trying to figure out how to use this tool. Okay, we're laying flat. We're not going to be able to get into the very point of the heel. It's just not going to happen. I will bump the handle if I do. So this square device here, I'm going to use it. I'm going to get up against the handle. I'm going to go left just a little bit. I'm going to try to draw a line. Yep, Sharpie's working today. Awesome. Everything's so much harder on camera, let me tell you. All right, we've got our marks. So when we set our heel, we need to be inside of that marker. Okay, let's get the rest of this set up. Well, that's interesting. I just threw some Sharpie on here, tested it. 27 degrees is the existing edge angle. I've never sharpened a pocket knife at that angle. And the directions from my client is to follow the existing angle. So we're going with 27. And luckily it's 27 and not 7, right? Because I can always go lower after I discuss with him. So here we go. Axial in Magnacut. All right, this is interesting. I'm going to pull you in for a closer look so you all can see some of the things you might come up against. See that big chunk of Sharpie just to the right of the heel? That should have been grinded off. So I need to figure out why that's still there. I'm doubtful it's a bend, but who knows? Let's investigate. Well, it's definitely not bent. I mean, I don't think, I'm having a hard time understanding why that didn't grind. We're going to do a few more passes and see if it goes away. It could have been sharpened before me and then, you know, maybe someone just went deep right there. That's the most likely in my opinion. But if you have an idea of what's going on here, please let me know in the comments below. It's very common that you guys know more than me. So look forward to hearing what you have to say. Let's grind. And let's go ahead and Sharpie the other side too. See if we've got any similar issues. If it is a bin, then we should have an opposing Sharpie pattern. Interesting. Yeah, boy. We have a big old fat area there. What is going on? That's the joy of sharpening. You just never know what's going to happen. All right, like I said, we're going to stick with the game plan. Do a couple passes. See if things change. I'm going to make a couple marks so we know the thickness of these. That way we can see if they change as we grind a little bit. No pressure, just light, knife weight only. Well, that one just got super skinny all of a sudden, which is good news. That makes me happy. You can see the 2 dots. That's how far it was, and now it's not. Whew, man. The pressure. Oh, yeah, the one on the back is actually dang near gone. Look at that. Very little left. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, I think this was sharpened before I got here, and I mean, maybe the manufacturer did it, but I don't want to place judgment either way. But someone just dug in there and created these little valleys. Now we've got a neutral face with the side grin. Oh boy, I'm out of the woods. Ooh, I almost nicked it there. It's important to keep your shoulders loose. All right, we have completely erased those concern spots, which I'm very thankful for. And I'm pretty certain we've got a burr going. Let's go ahead and hit this side real quick and check for a burr. Yep, we've got a burr. Whew. Thank God the hard part's over. Now it's time to step up to the grit 800 from our 200 grit wheel. I'm also setting up for edge trailing. In addition, I reduced the edge angle by 0.2 of a degree from 27 degrees to 26.8. I love this edge trailing method because with these specific wheels, I can see exactly where the blade is touching the wheel. And when it comes to precision sharpening, that's absolutely important. Especially when it comes to the softer steels like X50, they have those blades are always bent or have bends, and I can identify those and try to work them out with my bending tool.
But in this case, really, I just got to watch out for the handle. That's my main thing. And keep that blade flat on the stone. Couple more passes and we're done. And it's time for the fun part. Time to throw some diamond on this blade. My favorite step in the sharpening process, the Tormek leather wheel, dressed in 3 micron diamond. Fully removing the burr. I've increased the universal support bar back up to 27 degrees. And we're just going to eliminate that burr so we have the cleanest apex possible.
All right. Time to undress her.
I'm a huge fan of this blue tape. It is absolutely incredible.
Make a wish. I never get political on this channel, but this video is the exception. We need to see change in the United States of America. It starts at the local level, the county level, the state level, and then the federal level. Go talk to your local mayor and have them decriminalize OTF knives. Show them how friggin' cool these things are. Not only how cool they are, but how they can help people with disabilities access and secure a razor sharp knife with one hand. And then go hit up your county council people. After that, go to the governor of your state legislators. Just do this in front of them. Maybe not. But I think it's time to legalize these nationwide. You're not gonna cut yourself. Maybe you will. Maybe you'll heal. I don't know. But hey, hair shaving sharp. I'm happy. See ya.